Hey loves, what's up? So today I thought that I would just film a little something. I didn't really have much to film, but I felt like, whatever. I can at least share what the heck I'm thinking about at the moment and like some like planner updates, I guess. So yeah, we're going really strong in the Traveler's Notebook. I really like this little setup. I do feel though when it comes to like my weight loss goals and stuff like that, I need a little bit more structure in that regard. So I'm thinking of maybe adding something to it because y'all know I'm lazy. I'm lazy planner. I don't necessarily like to draw out layouts. I like the bullet journaling though, but I don't like to commit to having to make spreads for specific things. So yeah, it just never works out. But yeah, the whole planner situation is coming along great. I'll give you a flip of this week. Oops, let's see. So this was this week. I still need to go in and update stuff because not much, really, not really anything happened this week. To be honest, it was kind of a chill week. I read a whole lot this week, so yeah, I didn't really do anything major. And then like next week is Mother's Day, so I might not film at all. And so yeah, to that. And then my little 100-page TN is filling up so quick. Like, I really, really, really underestimated how much I actually write when I'm enjoying something. And I was just like, I'm at the halfway point of the book already. And things are starting to ramp up because May is going to be busy because we have Mother's Day. And then we're planning a summer trip home, and we're going to an amusement park. And then my friend is coming in like 2 weeks, the week after Mother's Day. So it's just like, whoo, it's getting a little crazy. And then we still have just like me, my husband, and my son. We're gonna do like an immediate little family trip. He doesn't know about that yet, but I'm in the works of planning that out. But there's like so much stuff going on, and then like I still have to work on like lowering my diabetes or my A1C numbers and stuff like that before my next appointments. I have appointments coming up in July, so the summer is looking pretty flipping crazy, and I've been writing a whole lot, and I do like this. I like this a lot because if you're somebody who has a really hard time with being committed to like one specific book that has many, many, many pages, then this works in that regard. But I'll be completely honest with you. I will run through these books like nobody's business. And it's fluffing up, it's got some bulk. And I think it's because I like to do a lot of that. Someone mentioned it to me as commonplacing, but I don't know if I would consider it commonplacing because it's not like information that I would like go back to necessarily. It's just kind of like randomness. But anyway, I like to do a lot of that little tip in type stuff. So I'll show you what the heck has happened for this week. So this was this week. Typical ICDT method. I don't think I need to explain it anymore. I've explained it several times. Um, but I purchased some printable what are they, sticky notes, and I just print them on regular paper, and they're just like daily check-in. I'll show you one that's not covered up, but they're just like daily check-ins, and basically they're just mood, your hydration, and your sleep levels. And I did it for a couple of days. I don't know necessarily if I like the format, but it was nice to be able to see like a general like overview of how many hours of sleep I'm getting, what my mood is like, and stuff like that. This week I was suffering really, really, really bad from allergies. I showed y'all what my son's face looked like a week ago with his allergies, but I had clogged ears, and like I've been having headaches, and I got a headache today. I'm suffering a headache right now, and my ear is still slightly clogged. The allergies, like I said, in Maryland are just, they're out of control. I don't know. The pollen is just, it's just crazy. But nonetheless, it was good to see that. I get questions too all the time about like some of the sticky notes that I use. Like, for instance, these functional ones, like the appointments and then the habit trackers. I get like questions about those all the time. I got them from Etsy, and they are functional sticky notes. That's the keyword that you need to look for or type in when you're looking for them. I got them from Etsy, and they are functional sticky notes. And all I did was I scrolled through and found layouts that I liked, and whichever shop that I liked, I purchased from that shop. But the original shop that I got these sticky notes from, I don't know. They closed their shop, I guess, because I haven't been able to find them. They aren't like I can't find them anymore when I search. But there are many, many, many others just like them. So I hope that clears the air, because I get that question so much. And sometimes it's a little annoying when I have explained it 1,000 times over in videos and then I still get the same question. I'm just like, did you watch the video where I like talked about it? But it's just like, I get it. But yeah, that's what they are. So if you're looking for them, you can get them from Etsy. They're just functional sticky notes. And that's the keywords to type in, and you'll find a plethora of them. But nonetheless, so yeah, this week I was trying out the functional sticky notes. And then of course this was Monday. This definitely was Monday because I feel like I had swimmer's ear or something. And this is how I was feeling. I was feeling like there was just fluid in there. And then, yep, I did it up until, I want to say this was Wednesday. Yeah, I did it up until Wednesday. And then I gave up on it because I was just like, okay, I don't really care for coloring in the icons, and I didn't really care for the format itself. I think maybe also because of the paper that I printed it on was just regular HP paper and not like the Kikuyo paper that I printed it on. But anyway, another thing, I'm trying to think. Another thing is, okay, so this book, I'm assuming that I will be able to get May in here as well, because this is the halfway mark, this is the halfway mark. There's a few pages leading up into this halfway mark, and I still have to finish out the weekend, and then I still have to make my new weekly task list, which is the ICDT method thing, whatever. And so I'm assuming that I will be able to get the rest of May in here, but also at the same time there's some things that I want to add, so that might take away from some of the pages that I might have for May. But nonetheless, I just decided that I would put in an April calendar just to showcase that, this was April. I actually wish I would have did this at the start of the book, but I didn't. I just kind of did it later, and it highlighted some of those dates. And then I did one for May. And basically just highlighted some of those important dates that are coming up, so that way I can come back to this calendar and I can see my calendar as an overview versus always having to pull out the little pocket day timer calendar that I have, that I basically store like any and everything that may be happening for the month. And then I also found my transparent sticky notes. So I've been using these too to like note stuff. And I know it's really, really hard to read, but when I wrote them when there was no writing behind it. And so, yeah, I can read it. That's all that matters. But I found my transparent sticky notes and wondered why the heck I stopped using them. And then, yeah, again, more transparent sticky notes. And then this week was slow. I average in this book 4 pages, at least about 4 or 6 pages a week. Just with using this little TN, and there's 100 pages in here. I ordered quite a few of these, and I was actually looking to see if there were any that were still sort of kind of slim like this, but had just maybe a few more pages. But the issue that I'm having is like, okay, so I found the Taroko shop on Etsy, and they have 192 sheets and you can get a pack of what, I think 5 or like $65. That's pretty steep. That's pretty steep. But the thing that I was more terrified of is the fact that they ship from Taiwan. And I immediately thought tariff. I was like, oh no, I cannot. Like, I ain't trying to pay no tariffs, y'all, because I done heard some stories about people ordering from Shein and they still ain't got their stuff because, you know, that stuff ships from China and then they got to end up paying the tariff on it. So, yeah, I was like, I don't need that confusion, that chaos in my life right now. So I'm just like, let's find a different alternative. So what I'm thinking really, really, really hard. I like using the Just Scribble books for like all this, like the stuff that I'm doing here, like random journaling, vlogging, like just your everyday stuff. I like using this book specifically for that kind of stuff. But when it comes to like my actual planner and stuff like that, I would love to just be able to combine like my week and my calendar and stuff in one. So I'm considering, I haven't made the official plunge, but I'm considering a Sterling Ink common planner, the N1. I'm considering. I know a few of you have said I might love that because it literally has some of the elements that I'm looking for. So I'm considering it. I'm really trying to consider my options before just plunging into something, because obviously, you know, I ain't trying to be jumping planner after planner after planner after planner. I'm just not trying to be doing that. But at the same time, I'm just like, well, you got to keep tweaking it until you get it how you want it. I think the size is how I want it. Now I just need to find the perfect, you know, just the perfect all around. I really do like this little booklet here. I like the fact that it's undated. I like the fact that it's just a week. But I do find sometimes that, you know, all this sticky note stuff, I find that I just need a little extra space sometimes for like the week and notes. So that's also what's contributing to me thinking about the Sterling Ink. But I'm not pressed. I'm not really pressed to move things around at the moment. And then you guys know I got a new cover. So I really want to try the new cover, but I'm also really loving this brown cover too right now. So I don't know. But yeah, this week was, you know, just a simple, very random week. And I just sized this calendar down in Canva and slapped it in here. So some other things that I was considering, and I love doing this. This is very satisfying. Some other things that I was considering outside of like just my planner for say, is I was considering, well, if I don't want to change it necessarily, maybe I can add two. So I'm not going to take these out because I've already done videos on these. I've done videos on them. So if you want to see those videos, I'll link them in the description box. But these are the Clever Fox Daily Planners. This is the Clever Fox Daily 2.0, where I did do an unboxing of this. I shared this last summer when we were staying in Mississippi. I shared this. And then this is the one I shared later last year. I think November-ish. Might have been November. Might have been No, it's definitely November. I think I shared it in November or December. This is a Clever Fox Premium. And both of these are daily planners, but they're goal-oriented. And so I was thinking like maybe I got rid of my daily aspects in my TN and did my daily stuff in here and just left my my TN booklet, the one that I'm using for daily, is just like a rapid log of whatever. I don't know. I'm considering maybe adding two. I'm usually not a two-person planner type person. I can't stick with two planners. Like the planner in itself will have to be super very, or not super very, very basic in order for me to commit to using it on a consistent basis. And it will have to not consider, or I would have to consider like the elements of it. I don't need it to have too many things going on. Otherwise I will fall straight off. So I don't know. I'm considering these, but I don't know. And then another thing is, because I like to do that, journaling aspect where, I tip things in. I do love journaling. I'm more of a writer. But lately I've gotten into this kind of journaling where I start putting things in. I like putting pictures of my son. I love putting pictures of my son. I can doodle in my little app on my phone because I have a Samsung Ultra. I think it's the 2023 version. But I like doing this kind of stuff in my phone. I just like doing this kind of stuff. And I just realized that, that's what I really liked when I used the Leuchtturm last year. And that's how I was able to stick with that book for so long, is because I was doing all of that little memory keeping stuff. So I thought about, not this one, but yes, it is the same brand. So I thought about this. I had ordered this back in February. I have a lot. If you know, then you know. I love journals and I collect journals, but I also use my journals and I never share them on my channel because, well, they're very personal, for one. And then two, I didn't think that you guys would be interested in that kind of content. It was just something that I would always do for myself. I've been journaling my life for years. And when I got my son, I've been journaling about my son, my family life. And I have, very, very, very sentiment journals where I've, stuff that I never want to revisit, but I have them. So yeah, I started out in pocket journals, and I was using those pretty consistently. And then I moved on and I started using other things. Well, I had ordered these journals because, well, I used a dotted like leather wrap journal. I want to say like October of this year from Barnes and Nobles, and I liked it as a bullet journal. I did. I liked it as a bullet journal. You guys remember this? This is the best bullet journal ever. Like, I kid you not. It's portable, it's compact, it's leather. It has a funky, fun color. It's a like easy little stringy wrap journal. It has dot pages. There's a lot of dot pages in here. I think it was like 200 and something. The dots aren't consistent, but the paper is really nice. I didn't stay too long in it because it was the end of the year, and then when the end of the year happened, I switched out of this. But I like to revisit this journal, and then it was cheap. It was like $25, and I'm like, don't sleep on Barnes and Nobles. Barnes and Nobles got some cute stuff. But yeah, I got into wrap journals because of this little one. But yeah, I purchased this, and I had all these great intentions to use it as just like a creative bullet journal. But I don't know. The paper is cotton. It's that cotton paper, and it's blank. And I didn't think it would be cool as a bullet journal, but I don't know. I'd have to try it out first. I did chop up the pages in the back because they were just like pushing up against here a little too long or a little wonky. So I ended up chopping it up. So it didn't quite work out. I shelved this one. I got this one back when we lived in Altus, Oklahoma. And yeah, I don't intend on using this one, but I will use it for like tester stuff. But I did do a pen test because the paper is still the same. I did a pen test, and I was just pleasantly surprised at some of the stuff that it took. If you can see, I I don't know. Oh, I said Moonster journal. And then that's ballpoint pen. That's a mild liner. That's a Pilot Precise V5. That's a Sharpie S Note. That's the Ohuhu Dot, which you know that bleeds through everything. That's the Pentel Energel. And then like you can see what took and what like skipped a bit. And then you have a 0.35 ballpoint. Then you have a Bic. And then you have a pencil. And then you have a zebra fountain pen. And it's just like a little cheapy. But the fountain pen did not do well. The zebra fountain pen that I have did not do well because it's very fine point and scratchy in itself. So I don't know. For a fountain pen, it might do a little bit different if you're using that. This was another zebra fountain pen. So this one was like the little throwaway, and then this one is like the, I forget what it is, but it's like a metal zebra fountain pen with a super fine tip. It just didn't take it all. This is actually a Sharpie, y'all. It's a Sharpie. That's a brush pen. This is a metallic marker. These are metallic markers. Okay, so peep. No bleed through. Even from the Sharpie, no bleed through. So I really like this paper for creative outlet. So I was thinking maybe I could do all that little creative stuff that I'm doing right now in my TN in one of these and create some of my memories. If you're really into like memory keeping and all of that stuff and you really like that aspect of memory keeping, I would say consider something like this, opposed to using your planners. I'm not saying that your planners aren't great memory tools, but just think like you have so many wide ranges of like mediums you can use because the paper is really, really thick. It's cotton paper. And then like the journal in itself is just like beautiful because it's a leather archival and you can literally, you know, commence a summer or whatever, a season in one book if you do a whole lot of journaling. And then you'll have these and they'll be beautiful sitting on a shelf. So that's something that I'm thinking about. That one was the smaller one. This is the bigger one that I'm thinking about. And I just love the packaging. Love the packaging. So this is the bigger one. Is this the right side? It's this side. And as you can just see, like, it's beautiful. It smells good. Smells really good. I'm so excited to use this. It's not even funny. This is a smaller one. The leather is different. The leather is lighter here, but much darker here. And it is pull-up leather, like that really pull-up leather. It is that. I don't want to do it on here, but it is that pull-up leather. This one had different logo on it. It says Moonster there. This one has a different logo. They kind of just embossed a little bit right there. I love these journals. I'm telling you, I love these. So I was thinking, just hear me out for a second. I was thinking, so with the fact that I've been using this to do all this like little memory keeping type stuff, I was thinking to maybe elaborate on that in a different journal. Like this or something, and do a cover page. I printed out some cards and laminated some stuff so I could do like a little cute little cover page or whatever. Yeah, I like this. So those are the updates that I have and the things that I have in terms of journals. I thought that I would show these to you because I think we just get in our heads that our bullet journals need to be like hardback books with dot grid or graph and lined, and they need to be either Leuchtturms, Moleskines, or whatever kind of hardcover notebook that we have. And I think that just people overlook stuff like this as being like a bullet journal because it screams journal, but that's what your bullet journal is. It's essentially a journal. It's a life book. It's a book that commemorates everything that's happening in your life. And you want to have a good relationship with it. You want it to be something that you carry around. You want it to be something that you really like. That's the feel and the relationship that I got when I used this book here. Like, it got dings, it got dirty, it got marks on it. Like, that's the relationship that I got when I used this book, is that I wanted it to be more than just a planner. I wanted it to, like, these are my son's little scribbles. I wanted it to be something that I would always look back upon. And I love this bullet journal. If you know, then you know. I started copying some of the spreads because I was afraid that they would fade away or get damaged, because like when we were gone, I didn't really have anything to like archive these pictures. I didn't have a laminator or anything. So I was just kind of scared like that when they're in storage, they're going to get damaged. So I just kind of started, photocopying everything just so that I still have copies of this stuff. And these are the memories. Although I really like this journal, I do feel like these are the memories that I wish, like, this was our last day at this particular spot. This spot was notorious for us because we always went there. We had lots of fun with my husband there. We always went there, and we always just had our drinks, our beverages. We just had so much fun just being in each other's company. And not gonna lie, I love this book, but I kind of wish that a lot of these memories were in something like this, because it makes it more, I don't know, personal and sentimental, and just like something that's just like a keepsake. So I don't know. I digress, but I wanted to share that with you because I'm considering switching things up a little bit, just from like my typical, like, I know you guys like my journal videos, my bullet journal videos and stuff like that. But I'm thinking of switching up how I'm using this. I'm going to finish out this insert for sure, but I'm going to have different plans for this insert. I don't want this insert to get taken up, or I don't want my planners to get taken up with necessarily this kind of stuff, because over time what'll end up happening is I'll look through stuff and then just say, oh, I don't need it, and throw it away. But my journals I tend to keep, and I don't even have to look through them. I just automatically know, like, absolutely not, we're not throwing that away. And if you really, really, truly like memory keeping, then I would consider maybe getting like a leather wrap journal, or just something that is more tactile in the hands. Like, this feels good because it's leather, it smells good, you can build a nice, genuine relationship with it. Yes, you need to build a relationship with your journals, your notebooks, and it feels like just really good in the hands. So just like finding something that you can memory keep in. And not to say that you can't memory keep in your planners and stuff, because obviously you're using these a lot too, but just trying to balance them out. Like, your journals and your planners don't necessarily have to be, they don't have to be for specific things. You can bullet journal in this too, and it can look completely messy. I was testing that theory out because I thought maybe I was going to switch out of my TN into this, because there's signatures in here. So I was thinking maybe I could do that. Did I test on this? I did. I was testing out a little bit. It's kind of sloppy because I wasn't really caring, but you can do it. You can do it, and I'm assuming that it will look equally as right. I would say that maybe a writing board, because this looks kind of messy, but it can work. It can work, especially. I'm just showing you guys what my thought process is when it comes to picking specific journals, because I'm really into that. Like, if I'm going to use a bullet journal, I got to be able to vibe with it, which is why I switched out of the Leuchtturm 411. I don't know why, but the relationship that you have with your journals is important for me. I got to like it. I got to like the size. Like, you see, I like these wrap journals. It just makes things fun. You can do stuff like this, and obviously I use stencils, and then stencils for the calendar. It can be fun. You don't necessarily have to have you know, like the typical kind of notebook. Did I do the ICDT method in here at all? I'm trying to see. This one took stickers really well. Yeah, so you can do it in here. I'm assuming this one is really nice paper too. It's a little bit thinner than this cotton paper, but it'll look good in here too. These are just some options that I'm throwing out there. This one has a bookmark, but you can sew a bookmark into here if you really truly want one. You can do that, but I'm just saying that these are some options for great archivals, great bullet journals, great memory keepers, and great commonplace books. Like if you're looking for a commonplace book and you want something that you can go back to, these are great memory keepers, commonplace books, book journals, whatever you want to call them. So that's the thing. I'm thinking about making some slight changes to my TN, only because there's just a few things in here I really like. I really like this. Like, I can't even. I really like this a lot. I do wish a little bit that there was a little bit more room for my weekly stuff, but that, like, it's not a big hindrance, but I do wish that there was a little bit more room for that. And then this, with the way that I've been, you know, writing and the way that I've been copying memories, I just fear that I will run through all the books that I purchased to get me through the rest of the year, because I now have at least 7 of them, and I'm just like, yeah, maybe I should try to transition some of my stuff, some of the things that I'm doing, into something else. And then that way, then this can just be purely functional. But I mean, it's whatever. I'm just thinking of stuff. I'm thinking of how I want to use these inserts, because if I end up adding something to my system, it would be either a goal. I was like a goal section. I don't necessarily want to use a second planner, but I'm thinking like it would really help to have like a planner that helps me break down goals and things like that, because I'm working on trying to lower my A1C levels for my next doctor appointment. That's really important. So I was thinking about these Clever Fox planners, and then all the journaling stuff that I'm doing, I was thinking about putting it in like one of these. But yeah, that's my updates. I don't know how we got off on this topic, but I hope you found some inspiration, some joy from it. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next planner related video. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and yeah, that's it. Bye guys.